How can you, as an organisation, use fractional internal comms support without losing control, and what are the benefits of that? Well, I'm going to tell you. My name's Vicky. I'm the CEO and founder of Red and White Media, formed in 2023 and based in trendy Margate in Kent in the UK. I have a fair bit of experience as an internal comms person and also external comms, copywriting, marketing, all that lovely stuff. And I want to talk today about specifically about the internal comms function. So often bigger organizations will have an internal communications team. Usually, it can be the case, not usually, but it can be the case that internal comms teams are sometimes overlooked on the resource front. So often they will battle to get all of the work done with minimal resources. I don't think that's unfair to say. And, sometimes it could be that there are staff shortages or there isn't budget to hire an extra person in. So they find themselves chasing their tails to keep up with business as usual work and also to cope with any projects that come in. So how do you bridge that gap? Well, hiring an internal comms person or as a fractional internal comms person is a really great solution, basically. So the benefits of hiring a fractional person are we already know what internal comms is. We hit the ground running. We sort of know what's required. I mean, obviously the work's, we need to research the tone of voice, how you do things in the organisation, but generally speaking, we can hit the ground running without too much training or onboarding. We have a wide breadth of experience across lots of internal comms functions. So, often we know about arranging town halls, we know about arranging internal staff events, internal staff newsletters, all that lovely stuff. We know about that and we know how to do it and we can help. You don't get any of the costs associated with recruiting a full-time or part-time, basically a fully paid up member of staff. So how it usually happens is I will work on a day rate with bigger organisations. So they'll specify how many days a week they want me, and that can range from a minimum of 2 days right up to 5. And that's all done on a day rate, which is invoiced at the end of the month. This is great because people can go to their budget holder. Well, usually internal comms managers will be the budget holder, but they still need to get sign off, right? So they can go to their managers who might need to go to a senior team, however the structure works, but they will know exactly how much they are getting sign off for. So there's no hidden costs, unless you require somebody to travel to your head office or anything like that, or if they need to go anywhere to do case studies or interviews, that would be a separate thing. But generally speaking, the costs up front, so that's a really good benefit to be able to go to senior management with. And also we can be flexible to fit in with the work. So if you decide on a pre-agreed, say 3 days a week, but then you find that actually the work's getting done really quickly and you don't have enough work one week, generally speaking, people will be fairly flexible as long as it doesn't happen all the time in the agreed contract scale. But conversely, if you take someone on for 2 days a week and then you discover that you've got a load more work, then brilliant, happy days. Usually people can be flexible depending on how much time they have for you. And I think people struggle to think about how they can retain control. So somebody who doesn't work within your organisation, how do you keep control of what they're doing? Generally speaking, if somebody's fractional, they have a fairly good work ethic. They're not going to rip you off. They're not going to sit there playing games or filing their nails when they should be working. It's a case of having clear briefs and decision ownership, and that keeps strategy internal. Unless, of course, you're looking for a strategic partner, then that's a bit different. But we're talking mainly on just the comms support here. Fractional partners will execute the work within defined boundaries. So as I said, we hit the ground running. We know exactly what we have to do. we're still happy to ideate and come up with new ideas, you know, or even to work around strategy if you want us to. But generally there's a defined boundary there, and that's, you know, that's a non-negotiable. And what you should do, obviously, is think about fractional people as a collaborative partnership, rather than delegating work to somebody who, you know, if somebody's in the organisation, you think about delegating work to them. This is a collaborative partnership that helps you to get work done without having the costs of hiring somebody permanent, and also, you know, can be really, really flexible. It's just a real benefit, basically. And, you know, most people will get on board fairly quickly within the team. Onboarding, as I say, is minimal. So yeah, I hope that helps. If you are an internal comms manager or head of comms in a bigger organisation, and you know you have pressures of time and work, and you know you just don't have the staff, or perhaps you have someone on maternity leave, or you have a resource gap, then, you know, give me a shout. I'm happy to discuss what's going on and what you might need. And yeah, we're really reasonably priced on day rates, so I look forward to hearing from you. If you've got any questions about how it all works, then just give us a shout. It's Vicky from Red and White Media. I'll see you soon.